At a bustling railway station in the heart of a city, there lived a beggar. He survived by pleading for alms from passengers traveling on trains that briefly stopped there. One day, as he was begging, his eyes caught sight of a tall, well-dressed man. The beggar thought to himself, "This man looks very wealthy. If I ask him for alms, he might give me a generous amount." Gathering his courage, he approached the man and began begging. The man looked down at him and asked, "You always ask from others, but have you ever given anything to anyone?" Surprised by the question, the beggar replied, "Sir, I am just a beggar. I have nothing to give. How can I give anything to anyone?" The tall man smiled and said, "If you cannot give, then you have no right to ask. I am a businessman, and I believe in the principle of give and take. If you have something to give me, only then will I give you something in return." With that, the man boarded the train and left. The beggar sat there, pondering the man's words. Those words struck a deep chord in his heart. "Maybe I don't receive much because I never give anything in return," he thought. "But I'm just a beggar. What could I possibly give to others?" For 2 days, the question troubled him. Then, on the third day, as he sat near the station, he noticed vibrant flowers blooming on nearby plants. Suddenly, an idea struck him. "Why don't I give flowers to people in return for their alms?" Excited, he plucked a few flowers and began his day. When passengers gave him money, he handed them flowers in return. To his surprise, people appreciated this gesture and accepted the flowers with smiles. For the first time, he felt a sense of dignity. From that day onward, the beggar would wake early, pluck fresh flowers, and offer them to those who gave him alms. He noticed something remarkable. More people began giving him money. However, when he ran out of flowers, fewer people contributed. One day, while begging on a train, he saw the same tall man who had inspired him. The beggar approached him and said, "Sir, today I have something to give you. Please give me alms, and in return, I will offer you flowers." The man smiled, gave him some money, and accepted the flowers. He said warmly, "Wonderful, you've become a businessman, just like me." The beggar watched as the man left, his words echoing in his mind. For the first time, the beggar realized the power of giving. He stepped off the train, looked up at the sky, and shouted, "I am not a beggar anymore. I am a businessman." People nearby thought he had gone mad, but he was determined. 6 months later, at the same station, 2 well-dressed men were traveling. One of them recognized the other and extended his hand for a handshake. "Do you recognize me?" the first man asked. The second man replied, "No, I don't think we've met before." The first man smiled and said, "We've met before, not once, but twice. Don't you remember the beggar you once spoke to?" Surprised, the second man exclaimed, "Oh yes, you're the beggar I once refused to give money to. And the second time, I bought flowers from you. But today you look so successful. What are you doing now?" The first man replied, "Yes, I was that beggar, but today I am a successful flower merchant. I'm on my way to another city for business," he continued. "You taught me an important rule of life. We only receive when we give. That rule changed my life. I realized I wasn't a beggar. I was always a businessman, but I didn't see myself that way. People weren't giving me alms. They were paying for the flowers I gave them. I used the money I earned to buy more flowers and became a merchant. Today, I run a large flower business, all thanks to the rule you taught me." Both men smiled and continued their journey. This story teaches us a profound lesson: the power of self-perception and the universal law of giving and receiving. Often, we limit ourselves by believing we are incapable or unworthy of success. But true transformation begins with a change in mindset. When we shift our focus from merely taking to also giving, whether through kindness, effort, or value, we open doors to opportunity and growth. Success is deeply tied to how we view ourselves. If we see ourselves as insignificant, others will too. But when we believe in our potential and take bold actions, the world responds in kind. The beggar's journey from poverty to prosperity reminds us, no dream is too big, no situation is too hopeless. When we dare to think differently, act boldly, and believe in ourselves, we can rise above any circumstance. ThriveX, where growth begins. Don't miss out. Hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon to stay inspired. Together, we'll unlock your full potential.